Are you paying too much just to get to school? What Weber State students have to say.
And we'll show you what happened at the Science Olympiad held here on campus.
Plus, Governor Herbert stopped by the Davis campus this week to find out why. Weber State News starts now. Welcome to Weber State News. I'm Derek Scouton.
And I'm Kirsten Voorhees. Budget cuts are affecting universities in Utah, but it's not all bad news for Weber State's Davis campus. Davis campus received the final okay on a $31 million project this Wednesday when Governor Herbert visited the campus.
I, Gary R. Herbert, Governor of the State of Utah, affixed my signature to this copy of the bill on March 30th, 2011.
State staff, faculty, and students, along with legislators and community members, came to see Herbert okay staff funding on construction for a brand new building at Davis. Renderings for the new building would allow the campus to grow by up to 2,000 more students and would include a new gym, food services, and a home for New Ames, the early college high school.
For many students around the world, procrastination is a way of life. Some students procrastinate their homework or tests to the point of turning things in online in only a matter of seconds before it's due. Students who live this way may have a big problem if they procrastinate this weekend. Weber State University is having a disaster recovery test from 10 p.m. Saturday, April 2nd until 8 a.m. Sunday, April 3rd. What does this mean for Weber State students?
Shut down the main campus, pretend like a practice, pretend we have a disaster over in main campus, the data center is gone. Banner will be, that's a key application. Banner will be down, kite test will be down. There's no application really available for anybody for that period of time.
Again, all the primary online systems for Weber State University will be down from 10 p.m. Saturday, April 2nd until 8 a.m. Sunday, April 3rd.
Students throughout campus are disturbed. The money they fork out for textbooks, student fees, and tuition continues to rise. In addition, the increase in the price of gas is also taking its toll on students. As summer gets closer, gas prices get higher. Some say that before the end of the summer, there's a good chance prices will hike to $4 a gallon, making problems for students financially.
The higher prices just put a greater strain on your financial stresses, and then you're working so hard to make money that it's less time to study. Makes me sick. I think I'm going to ride the bus a lot.
That kind of prompted me to buy a car earlier than I was thinking of, a new car that got better gas mileage.
Saving money is difficult for many students on campus. Next week, we'll introduce you to students who are using their free UTA pass to save money.
The undergraduate research program at Weber State has benefited countless students. The in-depth research of over 60 various topics has expanded the knowledge base and skill levels of all who participate. The 8th annual semi-annual Spring Symposium at Weber State University gives students an opportunity to express their intense research efforts in an expressive and elaborate poster. What is the bottom line? Landing a job.
Doing the presentation or doing the symposium has enabled me to do my research and compile it and be able to present it, which gives me advantage over other people who have not been able to do that, so I can apply it in a career.
The oral presentation phase of the symposium was held in Ballroom C. This phase is a way for students to develop their communication skills. The undergrad research program is open to all Weber State students. If you are interested in participating, visit the undergrad research office located in the Stewart Library.
Some of the best science students in Utah came to Weber State this weekend to compete in the Science Olympiad. Dan Raby tells us what happened.
Junior high and high school students from all over Utah came to Weber State on Saturday to compete in the Science Olympiad, a competition where students can compete in many different scientific fields.
So we cover all aspects, from engineering and technology to like medical science, like health science. We do have some events that are called like experimental design, where they design an experiment. Pretty much you name it that has to do with science, we do it today.
The purpose is to create passion for science through competition and fun.
We've learned about how to make it so they spin up correctly, and to like put more weight on the bottom so they can just stay there.
They competed in many different projects, like making the strongest bridge, creating the most powerful catapult, and trying to create a flying machine that can stay in the air the longest. One of the most popular events was a robot sumo competition. Students design a robot that is strong enough to push another robot out of the ring. The competition between schools was fierce.
Not only are the kids competing for school pride, they're also competing for full and partial scholarships from most of the universities in the state.
From the D Event Center, I'm Dan Raby, Weber State News.
We have a winner!
The winners of this Olympiad have a chance to compete in the national tournament this May in Wisconsin.
Spring means that many of Utah's animals will be coming out of hiding. One Utah organization is working to help educate people on how to protect these animals and what to do with any injured birds or small mammals. They will hold their second annual Baby Bird fundraiser later this month. Justin Tafoya went to find out about the group's upcoming event.
As the weather gets warmer, we'll all start getting out and enjoying it a little bit more. But for the people at the Wildlife Rehabilitation Center of Northern Utah, it's a time to educate people.
About 80 to 90% of what we see comes in between May and September, and a lot of them are injured and orphan babies.
Last year, the Wildlife Rehabilitation Center of Northern Utah took in over 1,700 wild animals, many of which would have been euthanized if the organization did not exist. Along with rehabilitation, the WRCNU provides the community with information about Utah's wildlife. That's why they will be holding the second annual Baby Bird Shower. Everyone from the community is invited to take part. Topics range from what to do if you find a baby bird on the ground, or how to approach an injured animal. The organization also plans to have a variety of activities to raise funds.
But we're also having an open house, so all our local new neighbors can come and kind of see what we are, learn about what we do and how we operate.
We have crafts and games, a silent auction. We'll have live birds of prey on display.
For anyone interested in volunteering, this is the perfect opportunity to learn what it's like. Others will have the chance to donate more than just money. The organization accepts everything from cat food to office supplies.
Equipment, supplies, rakes, stuff like that. So there's a lot of different things that people can bring in and donate.
A list of items can be found on the organization's website, along with event information and volunteering news. It's never too late to get out and volunteer, so you can stop at the Rehabilitation Center at any time. For Weber State News, I'm Justin Tafoya.
The WRCNU will be holding its upcoming event from April 29th through May 1st. The event will be at the former Ogden Animal Shelter near Ogden Canyon. For more information, visit wrcnu.org.
Boy Scouts teamed up with the Utah Food Bank to gather food for the hungry last weekend. The Scouts have just completed their annual Scouting for Food drive. Scouts of all ages went to work gathering donations from homes across the state. Their goal was to fill the food banks that serve the hungry and homeless in Utah. The boys learned to work together as a team to reach their goal.
It's been really great. We've had a lot of success. It's fun. We all take part of our time and we all help out, put all that we can into it. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
As far as what it means our families recognized or fed with this, it's probably going to help them for the next several months. We should have their building overflowing by the end of the day.
Back at the food banks, workers and volunteers work quickly to unload and store all the donated food. It may look like a lot, but the need is greater. The food will only fill the shelves for a couple of months. The Scouting for Food Drive is one of 4 major food drives held each year. The drive is sponsored by the U.S. Post Office. Look for a donation bag in your mailbox in May.
When we come back, Kaylee Connors and Nick Smith will have all your entertainment stories in our Studio 76 segment.
They'll tell us which celebs should just lay low and stay out of the limelight.
And how listening to some of your favorite songs can help victims in Japan. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, everyone. This is Studio 76, your home for entertainment. I'm Kaylee Connors.
And I'm Nick Smith.
So, I have a confession, Nick.
Okay.
I've had a crush on you for the last couple of months.
Really? Because, I mean, this whole semester I've like wanted to ask you out, and there's this orchestra dance thing tomorrow. Do you want to go?
No. April Fools! I got you bad. I'm sorry. It's not mean, though, because I said April Fools, so it doesn't count. It's okay. But John Coyle says it's okay. You can do anything you want as long as you say April Fools. So let's go to him right now to explain.
Oh, just kidding. That was pretty good, though. That was like an April Fool's joke on the April Fool's joke. It was the old double switcheroo. Anyway, I'm here to tell you that today, April 1st, you can do anything to anybody, anytime, and it's all right as long as you say April Fools. It's like a disclaimer. You could injure somebody horribly, but if you say April Fools, this is just an April Fool's joke. Watch.
April Fools.
Oh, what just happened?
There's some people right down here on the first floor, right down here. There's some people down there on the first floor. We're gonna drop this brick off here and we're gonna scare the crap out of them. It's gonna be hilarious, right? You ready, dude?
Let's go for it.
Okay, we're gonna have to get out of the way. You got him?
I don't know, man.
Oh, freak, dude, Kurt's down there.
Oh.
Hey, come on, come on, come on, come on.
April Fools, sucker! Oh, man.
Joke's on you, son.
Oh, this is my video.
Jokes and
It's
jokes.
my video.
Oh, man. What the heck?
The stunts and pranks performed in this video were performed by professionals and should not be attempted at home. Okay, we're not professionals, but what makes like a stunt professional anyway? It's not like you can go to school and get your degree in stunt manning. I know, I looked into it. It was actually a pretty big letdown for me. Anyway, the stunts were performed, well, yeah, they were performed. And you shouldn't try them at home because, you know, I don't care if you get hurt, but they're my ideas. You know, do your own stupid junk. I'm John Coyle, Studio 76.
April Fools.
Yeah, thanks, John. You're a hoot. On to a more serious and not frivolous topic. Where's Waldo?
He's in all those Waldo books, right?
Right. But he was also supposed to show up at the WSU Davis campus for a night with WSU's Astronomical Society. Students both from Weber State University and New Ames listened and learned from Wayne Sumner, WSU adjunct professor of astronomy. Even though the skies were not clear enough to see any stars, Sumner demonstrated how telescopes work and how you can make one for yourself. Sumner has made over 300 himself. Here's what one student had to say.
I'd love to make one, maybe bigger than mine, that I own. I really enjoyed it. I wish the clouds would have cleared up so we could see the stars, but the presentation by Mr. Summer was really good.
It's just too bad Waldo couldn't find his hat and show up to the party. And then if the skies were clear and he was there, he could have pointed out the W to all the students in the sky.
In the stars, it's true.
Yep.
You know, I wasn't actually able to attend last night, but I did a little stargazing of my own, as in celebrities.
Good one.
I know, right?
Whenever I get into celebrity news, I always get interested in a certain topic.
Like really attractive young men in college?
That's usually the one, let me tell you. But this week, I'll tell you all about the celebs who should stop being in the news.
You honestly can't start talking about celebs who should stay home without talking about Lilo. And FYI, the name Lilo is no more. Lindsay Lohan is officially changing her name. She's dropping Lohan and from now on will be known as Lindsay. Maybe Lindsay thinks dropping her last name will make the courts forget about all the time she's broken the law. But I hate to break it to you, that stuff will not change. Lindsay's mom and sister are officially dropping their last name as well, and will be using the mother's maiden name because they don't want to be associated with the father. Another famous lady who should try to lay low is Janelle Evans. Janelle, darling, please just go home and take care of your baby. The teen mom star was arrested again. This time, she was arrested for allegedly punching another woman while arguing in the front yard of a home in North Carolina. She was released from jail on bail and is due back in court on April 26th. And finally, let's talk about Charlie Sheen. He tweeted to the world that his ex-wife, Denise Richards, kidnapped his dog. In this dog napping, the real question is, did Denise kidnap or save the dog? Of course, Sheen says she won't take care of the dog properly, but Denise says Charlie is not even a dog person. Honestly, whether we like it or not, Charlie will find any possible way to keep himself in the news.
Some celebrities are winners, and others are just addicted to being in the spotlight.
It's so true. But, they aren't all like that. Let's take a look at some of the sane ones in This Week in Entertainment.
What would you do if you knew you had less than 8 minutes to live?
Jake Gyllenhaal is Captain Coulter Stevens, who has become part of a government experiment called Source Code. He relives the last 8 minutes of another man's life in an attempt to stop a bomb. This action thriller is filled with mind-boggling twists, heart-pounding suspense, and is rated PG-13. As you may have heard, Japan was recently devastated by an earthquake and tsunami. Over 30 artists have come together creating Songs for Japan, a compilation CD featuring artists as varied as John Lennon, Foo Fighters, Eminem, Lady Antebellum, and even the Biebs. The CD drops on April 5th, and all proceeds go to the Japanese Red Cross Society. Orchesis Dance Theater is once again on stage at Weber State University. Their spring concert focuses on fluidity with the pieces Water Study and Watermark. The performances will be held Thursday, Friday, and Saturday evenings at 7:30 in the Browning Center. Tickets are $10 or $7 for students and can be purchased at the venue 1 hour before the performance.
I always get excited when I hear about Orchesis Dance Theater because
yeah.
I know it's near the end of another semester.
Oh, I know, I'm so excited for spring semester to be over.
Me
you know
too.
that's what I wish would be over?
What?
Winter weather.
Oh, I know. I thought spring had sprung, but then those winter snowstorms came out of nowhere.
Nowhere.
It was ridiculous.
Nowhere.
John Capel will have your 7-day forecast when we return.
Right you are, Kaylee. It's time to dust off the old spring bonnet because spring has sprung. We've got a warm weather bubble that's covering all the western states, and it's keeping this storm front up in the Seattle area from coming down and bothering us for the next couple of days anyway. We could see temperatures up into the low 70s for the next couple of days. Saturday, though, we're going to see some winds coming out of the north, and it's going to bring a moisture front with us, and it's going to get cold. Down to 46 degrees on Sunday. Rain in the lower elevations with about a foot of snow up on the high country, which will be good for the skiers and the snowboarders. And that's only going to last for a day or so, and then we'll be back into the 60s and on up into the 70s for next week potentially. Sunshine, good time to be out there and work in the garden and do whatever you like to do. But I wouldn't get my tomato plants in the ground just yet. Our 7-day forecast is calling for 66 degrees today, but they're saying it's going to climb higher than that. Tomorrow, 65, slight chance of moisture. On Sunday, we're going to get possible snow, as we said, 42 degrees. Monday, more sunshine. It's going to break into a wonderful week next week, and it looks good for everybody involved. And that means that we get to go out and play some sports and have some good times, and Marvin is going to tell us all about that in the sports segment coming up next on Weber State Sports.
Hello everybody, I'm your sports anchor, Marvin Walker. While sports have slowed down a bit, they're not entirely over with. The softball team has finally returned home after their 11-game road trip. Opening day for WSU's women's softball team turned out to be not so joyful. The team fell to the Aggies of New Mexico State in a doubleheader yesterday, and the Wildcats ended up losing 10-1 in the first game and 6-3 in the second. Junior transfer Erica James, number 5, went 4 for 6 and drove in the run for the Wildcats. The standout outfielder, Shayla Rivers, number 3, has a rocket for an arm. Rivers is usually an outstanding hitter, but the Aggies seem to keep her under control. Now Ashley Huddleston snagged a hard-hit grounder to stop the Aggie scoring drive. The Wildcats are showing strides, though, to a better season than last year. Now, the next game for the softball team is this Friday afternoon at the WSU softball complex at 4 p.m. Now on to football. The WSU football team is now halfway through spring training, and the team finally they've been able to get some hitting in since last November of last year. It's been a while.
The Weber State football team had their first scrimmage game this past Saturday. From early indications, it looks as though the football team has the potential to take the conference this upcoming season. With the intense practice sessions leading up to the scrimmage game, players are well aware that the coaching staff expects perfection.
Oh, they harp on us every day, probably every hour of the day. They just make sure we stay on top of our game, especially our academics.
All the players expect the incoming freshmen to match the intensity of the team.
Work hard because we're working hard every day and just contribute. We don't play age, so anyone who can play. So they know that, and they come out here and they work hard as well.
It looks as though Weber State has the potential to go all the way this upcoming season.
Oh, he's going. He's going.
Coach McBride gave a surprising element of what he is looking for in the players this year.
You want to put them in difficult situations and try to make them produce in difficult situations. So you want to get them in situations that are not comfortable for them.
My name is Nick Nava. I'm from Weber State News.
I must admit, it does feel wonderful to be in those pads again. Come on out to our second scrimmage tomorrow morning, which begins at 9 a.m. down at the practice field. Now on to those brackets. The NCAA Final Four games begin tomorrow evening, and Kirsten Voorhees took the pulse of campus to see how everyone's bracket held up.
This year's ESPN's Final Four bracket is a little crazy. Don't believe me? Well, only 2 out of 6 million people correctly picked the Final Four. Is your March Madness bracket in tatters? I talked to some students to see how their brackets are holding up.
It was perfect. No, that's a lie. It sucked.
My bracket's still hanging in there. No, too bad Weber State couldn't make the bracket this year.
I got one right. I put UConn to win all of it, so hopefully they win.
I'm down and I'm really not excited to watch it even really, so I was sad because I actually put some money into a pot, but you know, it's how it goes.
My bracket is just terrible right now.
I don't know what a bracket is. Even if your Final Four bracket is in shambles, you can still enjoy the tournament this weekend. For Studio 76, I'm Kirsten Voorhees.
Now really, who would have guessed the VCU Rams would have made it to the Final Four? We might have a Cinderella story on our hands with that team right there. When we come back, we'll show you how the WSU Davis campus is sharing cultures and color. Weber State News, we'll be right back.
So I talked to a lot of people on campus about the NCAA bracket, and a lot of guys knew what it was. They were like telling me all the teams that they had picked and everything, but I couldn't find a single girl who even knew what it was.
You know, that's pretty funny. I had to laugh pretty hard when I saw that you had that girl on there that had no idea what it was. Personally, I know what it is, but I don't pay that much attention to sports, so I didn't even fill one out. It wasn't that important to me.
That's too bad.
You know, but one thing that I do pay a lot of attention to is I'm a guy. I like to get dirty. So many of Weber State students actually got a bit of extra color in their face this last weekend. We were there to catch some of the excitement. This is Derek Scouten for Weber State News. I'm here at the Davis campus of Weber State for Holly, or the Color Fest. It's time to have some fun, throw some color, get dirty, learn about different cultures. And like I said before, let's just have some fun. Time to get down and dirty.
Color Fest is normally in places like India. They have a big, huge festival where they like all the people get together and they throw powdered color that they make, and usually the color that they make actually has a lot of really like health benefits in it. It's really good and cleans out your system. It's good for people who are sick.
These people behaved like true Hollyators from India, New Delhi.
I think you got colored.
I got colored. I got dust in my mouth.
Many of the Weber State students who came enjoyed the food from the Taste of India and the opportunity to learn more about the Indian culture. Even students who were of a younger variety enjoyed the opportunity. As the colors began to fly, it became apparent that no one was going to leave without some sort of color and a bit more knowledge about the Indian culture. Well, the colors have come out to play, and so have I. For Weber State News, I'm Derek Scouten. We'll see you next time.
Good luck to that cleanup crew. That looks like a lot of fun. I heard you went to the Spanish Fork one as well.
I did. It was pretty impressive. There were a ton of people there as well. They actually had about 40,000 people there.
Wow.
Sold 80,000 bags worth of color. So it was a pretty impressive feat just to be there and see all the color fly.
Wow. And with those bags of color that they sold, did they donate that to charity?
A lot of it actually went to charity, but also a lot of it actually went to the cleanup. It was a mess. There was color, mud, and everything everywhere, so a lot of the cleanup was going to have to be taken care of.
That sounds like a lot of fun, though.
It was. It was definitely a lot of fun.
Well, thanks for watching Weber State News. Don't forget you can watch all of our newscasts, sportcasts, and Studio 76 on our website, weberstatenews.org. We'll see you next time. Until then, I'm Kirsten Voorhees.
And I'm Derek Scouten. Thanks for watching.